Christine Grace, welcome back to my channel. Today is another reaction video. Like the video on your way in, let's get straight into it.
Hello, my name is Joy, and I woke up choosing violence this morning because I would like to debunk and explain why feminism is a crock of shit.
Is this real? This looks like AI.
I already see the comments of me getting called a pick-me girl for this, so let's just get into it. Number 1, hookup culture getting disguised as empowerment. The sexual liberation of random hookup culture completely goes against female biology because of how we emotionally bond through oxytocin. Hooking up with random people is not empowerment. It's disgusting. And the fact that feminism tells women that they will be liberated after that is an absolute lie. You're not.
An absolute lie. And in fact, there is so much evidence to support the fact that women feel massive amounts of regret and shame after having more of these transient sexual experiences.
You're gonna feel liberated. You're gonna feel like a slut. And that just leads to the spiral culture of I need more, I need to feel sexy, I don't feel wanted or desired, so I'm gonna go get it because I can, because I'm a boss-ass bitch. It's a lie. It's a complete, utter lie. Number 2, put in career over having a family. The narrative that traditional roles are oppressive, like, show me where they're oppressive. Other than maybe the Amish and the people in Utah. What are they called again? Mormons, that's what it is. You can climb the corporate ladder all you want. But true long-term satisfaction in your life comes from strong relationships where people actually care and love you for who you are, having a sense of community, and raising a family. This pressure that women have to have it all and be that boss woman in the corporate world, it leaves them burned out, okay? Those are the chicks that are walking around 45 that are fat and overweight with their hormones out of whack that look like they are just stressed beyond belief because they've been chasing a lie someone told them would make them feel fulfilled, and it just doesn't. Number 3, feminism frames men as opponents, not partners. There are 100% bad dudes out there. I mean, like really bad dudes that exert their power and force to get what they want. They're tyrannous. Yes, absolutely. Those guys do exist. But attacking men in general, telling them that their masculinity is inherently...
There's almost something quite funny about it. The fact that feminists are constantly insisting that all men are like this. All men are this super bad, scary, mean thing, while simultaneously spreading the message that is, all women aren't the same. Don't stereotype us. Don't put us into one group. Don't dehumanize us by doing that, whilst simultaneously doing it to the opposite sex. So it's just like, it's almost so dumb that it's funny.
Toxic is the most messed up thing on the planet. Men and women are different. Our bodies are different, our hormones are different, our brains are different. We are just different. We can be equal, but we can acknowledge our differences and understand that the yin and yang between the sexes is not the problem. It's a good thing. Lord knows we do not need more feminine men. We need more true, strong, masculine, healthy men in society. We could fix a lot of things if that happened. And that ideology that we're in competition with men and not that we complement each other will make your relationships suffer. Feminist women that try to get in relationships with men and have that ideology programmed in their mind carry it into that relationship, and it screws things up. And number 4, last but not least, the promise of total independence. Telling women that they need total independence to feel happiness is...
stress. It's just stress. Why would you want it? I mean, I can get the idea of like wanting to live alone and stuff. I'm an only child. I enjoy my own company. But, you know, when shit goes wrong, I need my dad. I need my dad.
Just gonna lead to pure isolation. And listen, I'm a strong, independent woman, okay? I love just being able to do things on my own and figure it out and problem solve and all those things. But I still ask for help. A lot, because I need it and I acknowledge it, and I go to my community and I go to other people and males in my life that I'm like, hey, can you help me with this? That does not make me weak. That does not make me less because I ask for help, because I understand that I need it. What's being marketed as freedom to women is just complete disconnection. And I think it's honestly really heartbreaking that so many women are falling for this narrative as if this is the answer that they need, or that's going to make them happy. You can be a strong, independent woman without falling for this narrative feministic bullshit. And if you've been really hurt by a guy before, honey, I get it. I understand how this is so attractive, this ideology that this is going to be what frees you and you don't need a guy because screw him. I get it. Trust me. But just because you dated a jerk does not mean you need to go on the rest of your life living through an ideology that will inherently hurt you in the long term.
It's just, do you know what's so funny about this is that it's essentially like, it's kind of following the critical theory, the whole critical race theory thing. Like liberals, feminists, leftists, they love this idea of a certain group of people are bad. Typically the most fashionable thing to say is middle-aged white men are bad, or just white people equals bad. Feminists, men equals bad. So, you know, they have this whole idea that you can group a bunch of people together and say they're bad, whilst again, simultaneously claiming that that mindset is wrong. You know, because if I went around saying every brown dude who wears a turban is a terrorist, well, then I would be a racist, wouldn't I? But it's that same mindset. It's that same mindset that, well, one guy hurt me, so all men are terrible, you know? You can't complain about the world having stereotypes and grouping people together and being affected by, you know, certain individuals and then applying it to a group of people whilst you're also doing that. Like, your whole point crumbles. You know, the whole thing of like, oh, you know, not all men, but always a man. It's just like, how stupid can you actually be? How stupid can you actually be? That's like me saying, I got stung by a bee once, but it's not all bees, but always a bee. It's like, well, yeah, because bees have sting. Men have the capacity to hurt you. So do women. So it's like men could just as easily say, you know, not all women, but always a woman, because they're probably almost always hurt by women when it comes into intimate relationships. Like, it's just ridiculous. You can't claim men are like this and, you know, white people, black people, brown people are like this because you've had a bad experience with someone who happens to fit into that group. So if you're going to make the point of like that ideology is bad, then stick to it. But they can't do that, because if they was to do that, then they wouldn't be able to say that they're feminists. It's just hypocrisy.
There are good men out there. I promise you. That's all I got to say about that. I was kind of feeling feisty this morning, so.
Take a moment and say, thank goodness that so many of us are waking up to the fact that modern day feminism is a literal scam meant to disconnect and separate and isolate women from one another. And not only from one another, but from the natural ways of living. Like, this shit literally goes against nature. Modern day feminism says that women should be out in the workforce working 40+ hour weeks while their children stay at home with a caretaker, that they immediately get put in the school system from age 5 and stay until they're 18, if not older if they go to college. And that while women have 4 phases of their cycle that give them extremely different hormone levels and energy levels, that they should be doing the exact same routine every day, every week, and every month. I'm sorry, but fuck that. Like, I am down for the boss babe shit. I am building 2 businesses right now. I think women should be running their own empires if that's what they want. But it can be done the feminine way. Women are meant to be provided for so they can stay home and take care of their children and be the actual parent to their child. They're supposed to rest during their moon cycle. They're supposed to frolic around naked and connect to their bodies and connect to the earth and be the caretaker. They're not.
This took a bit of a weird turn, didn't it?
Not meant to be in hustle all the time. They're not meant to be in doing mode all the time. We're meant to be. And we're meant to be in.
I can just hear Rachel Wilson somewhere, like, just raring to go to talk about the fact that, like, women have always worked and being a full-time mom is still a job. Like, this idea that we just, like, frolic around naked in a flipping meadow. It's just, like...
community.
Do you live in a dream world? Do you actually live in a dream world? Like, oh, we're just meant to be provided for and we just sit there looking pretty. It's like, you know, this is almost as dumb as the whole feminist narrative. It's just, oh.
Surrounded by other women, letting them support our children as well.
So everyone else still looks after the child but you.
Being in community vibes.
Community vibes. Oh, mad Americans.
Is essential. And what does modern day feminism do? Separates us from that as well, turns women against each other as competitors instead of allies, and makes us work until we're too tired to function, amongst so many other tragic things. So,
I mean, look, I like the fact that she's against feminism, you know. I do think that there's been like a trend of, you know, trad kind of women making the whole like anti-feminism thing I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Like a trend, you know, fashionable. Like, oh yeah, you're anti-feminist if you know, are barefoot in your kitchen and make cookies all day and, you know, sit naked in your garden or whatever the hell this woman's saying. And it's just like, no, you're trad if you're not doing any of that. You're not on social media and you are like, I don't know, making clothes all day, washing your clothes by hand, milking a cow, maybe slaughtering a chicken. Like, it's just like, you can be, you know, someone who doesn't agree with feminism and, you know, be anti-feminist without having to make it an identity. You know, you can just be you and have certain thoughts and ideas without having to make it an identity. Because then it just becomes another form of identity politics, which is like, isn't that like the whole thing that we're kind of like fed up with anyway? It's like you're then making an identity out of not having an identity. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but it makes sense in my head. You know, you can be an anti-feminist and also understand that you are still a woman living in modern day and age. Like, it's kind of hard to escape that. Now, obviously, are there women who, you know, perhaps are virgins and get married at 18, get married by like, you know, 40-year-old men who are super rich and they do get to kind of live this like frolicky lifestyle? Yeah, sure. But like, that's not the case for most of us. And like, that's okay. You can still say, hey, I am a modern woman. I'm a product of modernity and, you know, modern day generation. But I still disagree with feminist ideas. You don't have to make it like a, you know, you have to wear certain dresses and you have to, you know, only consume like organic food. It's like, there's a cost of living crisis. Some people can't afford to go to Waitrose and buy all organic food. And maybe they don't have the, you know, skills to be able to start, or even the space. Maybe they live in a flat. Maybe they live in a flat and they literally have barely any money. They have to work because they don't have a lot of money and they can't afford organic food. But they still disagree with feminism. They still want to be there for their children. They still probably are there for their children because they definitely can't afford childcare. But like, they're struggling. So like, they might not be frolicking around in the kitchen barefoot, making, you know, the perfect like cherry pie or whatever. But like, they put food on the table, they work too, and they're just doing their best. Like, you know, you don't have to make an identity out of it. It's not like a performance of like, oh, look at me, like I'm trad, I'm anti-feminist. It's like, it's literally just, it's just a concept. Like, it's just an idea. There's no real way to actually be trad in the modern world, as far as I can see. You know, even these people we see on social media who are like the trad wives, this, that, and the other. Again, I've said this before. I don't know where I stand on that whole thing. Like, I don't know if I think it's a good or bad thing. I think it's good because of the degeneracy that we also have on social media. So I think it provides, you know, young girls are always going to look up to like younger but slightly older than them women. So it's like, would I rather them looking at like OnlyFans girls or these trad wives? Obviously, I'd rather them looking at the trad wives. But even those like social media trad wives aren't trad, you know, because they're on social media. That's not me slating anything. That's just me like stating that it's a fact. Like, we are all a product of the modern world. So this idea that like there is a way to actually revert the effects of the modern world is just, unfortunately, it's just unrealistic. And we don't live in a daydream where everything is like sunshine and fairies and rainbows. This is the real world and it sucks. And if you want to sit in your back garden making flipping daisy chains whilst your man goes out to work and suffers and you lot are barely getting by and you're just too much in your own Delulu land to notice, instead of going to get a part-time job to help him, I don't know. I think the ultimate anti-feminist hypothesis, idea, whatever you want to say, is putting the family first. And if that means when the kids go to school, like your husband's salary isn't enough for you guys to, you know, pay the bills, this, that, and the other, when the kids go to school, you go get a part-time job. That doesn't make you any less anti, you know, feminist. Doesn't make you a feminist. It means you're putting the family first. And like, that should be the central point of not agreeing with feminism, in my opinion.
If you're still stuck in that modern day feminism trap, let me just tell you that you deserve to be rich, you deserve to be your own boss, you deserve to do all of the things a man does too, but there is a unique way that you're meant to do it that is separate on a physiological and biological level from how a man is supposed to do it. And
I'm just confused.
learning to embrace that is learning to embrace your true nature.
So true.
Oh, the internet is a funny place.
Sense for a moment, I'm trying to get into the mind of a feminist, okay? So they want equal rights, right? So whatever that means to them, probably abortion, right? Bodily autonomy, but that doesn't mean equal rights for men, because men still have to sign up for the draft, get circumcised without their bodily autonomy permission.
We don't do that in the UK.
They don't get to hit a woman back if the bitch slaps him. And they have to work in society. For society to work, men have to work, not women. So how in the world does feminism still make sense to this day? Once women achieved the right to vote and have their own bank account, I think that's where it could have fucking stopped. Because what the fuck are you even fighting for anymore? Because it's not equality, it's superiority, it's narcissism.
Facts, 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 facts.
It's vanity. It's nonsense is what it is. It's nonsense.
My hot take is that feminism is the biggest joke. And
Oh, I've seen this chick.
before you come at me, just hear me out. Before feminism, families were united. Men and women were united. They understood each other. They took care of each other. They knew how each other worked. They knew what the other person needed. And families were actually built upon loyalty, trust, and connection. Nowadays, women are told, you can be independent. You don't need to have a family. You don't need a man. And the result is women are miserable because they are living a life that is not true to them. That is not something they were naturally born to do. And men are miserable because they have to choose between being single or being with a woman who never appreciates them, never respects them, and doesn't love them in the way that they need. The fact that we think feminism actually helped our society, yes, maybe it helped some women who were being abused or who were actually in devastating relationships.
I think it helped the completely narcissistic women who no one else really liked. Like, you know, the women who are in those situations, I think there still could have been domestic shelters and stuff opened without women needing to get the right to vote. Like, I don't think women getting the right to vote has led to as many things as people think it has. I think a lot of what's happened would have happened anyway, because to say that it wouldn't is off of the idea that men have no compassion and men wouldn't have opened those charities. It's like, obviously they would. Obviously someone who's being abused, like, you know, their brother or their dad would have started some kind of campaign against domestic violence. Like, this idea that only women would have done stuff to help women is also a feminist ideology, because it's just like, well, look at all of human history. Like, men have always wanted to take care of us. So even that idea is a bit like, why do you think that?
For the most part, it caused a lot more destruction than it did good to our society in general.
Completely agree.
You can try and prove me wrong, but look at the statistics.
You're going to be really blown away by this. Just going to press this and see what it gives us.
Feminism has made everyone true to
things that are
it's caused more destruction than good.
Feminism was one of the worst things that ever happened to women in society in America. Before feminism was coverture, and coverture actually protected women. Coverture was an oppression. It was
Coverture? What is that? I've never heard of that word before.
an obligation that the men carried. Men carried all of the economic and legal liabilities of the household. Coverture actually protected women from harsh punishments like debt, imprisonment, and lawsuits, because it was legally falling on the husband. Women, though, maintained their power through alternative legal channels like trusts, dowries, and estate settlements. And coverture only applied to married women. So if you were not married as a woman, these did not apply to you. It
Wow.
functioned because it had families be economic units and not just a relationship of roommates. A lot of misconceptions were that women are treated like property, and that is actually false. Women had inheritance rights, dower rights, and couldn't be sold or transferred, and they could also sue. And last I checked, property couldn't sue. And just one more thing, coverture didn't exist because men hated women. It existed because economies were household-based, not individual-based. So it was really about structure, not spite and competition.
Feminism is a creation by
I do not topic has so feminine.
all people.
I did not know that. That is very cool.
All right, guys, I'm ready to light some fires. This is why I do not agree with feminism. And to clarify, I mean nuanced feminism. This topic has so much breadth that I'm just going to touch the surface with it. 1. Nuanced feminism has gone above and beyond to demonize traditional values from women. And by this, I mean traditional roles such as having children, staying at home and supporting their husbands emotionally and spiritually, and being caretakers. 2. It is now merged with extreme leftist beliefs, especially pertaining to the LGBTQRST movement, where we now have men claiming to be women, and it is widely accepted, with verbiage such as birthing people, breastfeeding people, and menstruating people. I'm sorry, but isn't telling men that they can be women the exact opposite of feminism? Men do not birth, men do not menstruate, and men do not breastfeed. 3, it has greatly degraded men and their attribute to society. Feminism is supposed to be advocating for rights for women. We now live in a day and time when they have included the entire population, including men. How does that make sense? Lastly, I'm going to say this once, so listen to me good. Men and women are not equal, biologically, spiritually, or emotionally. By pushing this equality agenda, we have deeply degraded the innate divinity that is being a woman.
So I infiltrated the women's empowerment movement on this app just to see kind of what the fuck the deal actually was, to see if they actually cared about women. On the surface, it really sounds like they did. It sounded like they were going to talk about femicide. It sounded like they wanted to help women, move forward in life. But once you actually keep paying attention, they've been yapping about men for years on this app, and they are just blaming men for their own suffering for years on this app. I didn't know it was for years, mind you. These women have been yapping about men and blaming men for years, okay? That is not women empowerment. When I infiltrated this whack job fucking cult on this app, I saw that these women just live in victim mentality, okay? They'll talk about mental health and seeing therapists and taking pills. Oh, absolutely, they fucking will. They won't talk about your physical health, though, because they're still saying that body positivity, you could be as big as you fucking want, even though 400,000 women are dying every single fucking year from heart disease. That's not women empowerment, right? Blaming men for your own
This lady gets it.
suffering 24/7 also isn't women empowerment, because their solution isn't even to leave men alone, because they can't even say that with their whole fucking chest. They don't tell women to delete the dating apps. They, mind you, they also hold up hookup culture. You can't have both realities in your brain if you're trying to decenter men, and you simply can't tell women, stop fucking. Okay? That's not women empowerment. This fake women's empowerment cult on this app has showed me that these women don't give a fuck about women. It's all about their party affiliation. It's not about all women, okay? They don't give a fuck about women. As long as you vote their way, that's all they care about. They don't give a fuck if you're on your deathbed from not taking care of your physical health. Did you fill out your ballot? Did you fill it out? Okay, good. We'll get you some medicine later on. Cult on this app is actually fucking insane, okay? I thought for a moment we were gonna push, one direction. But no, these bitches on this app don't give a fuck about women. They don't give a fuck about women. They want women on medication. They want women to hate men but still date them somehow. I don't understand. They want women to go sprinkle when they have no fucking idea what the fuck sprinkle actually is. None of them have any fucking game. I would advise all these hoes to stop yapping about Cheers 7, because these bitches have no fucking game. That's why they keep getting dog walked by men. And this is just the surface of what this fucking psychotic cult is doing on this app. These bitches don't care about women. It's all about party. They put men before women. It's not about women.
I never got that about the whole trans movement.
It's about a party affiliation.
Hello there, hope you're very well. My name is Paul Smith. I've been a property investor for the last 39 years.
I feel like most of these women don't even know why they vote left.
Feminism is dead.
Feminism is dead. Another Andrea is on.
Then they should have feminism. I think that if men are willing to do more and do more, then they should make more. That's the first argument. Everybody's like, men shouldn't make more money than women. I don't want to be a carpenter. Get up for me. I want your seat. Like, there's no reason we should get rid of those pieces of chivalry all for feminism. I don't know. Like you said earlier, we're taking it too far. I think that there are certain positions in society that are comfortable for a woman. And when you start pushing the men out of the other positions, then the women have to step into the ones that are uncomfortable for women. And I'm not willing to do that.
Okay, here's why more and more young women are rejecting feminism and just like do not want to be associated with it at all. I think these younger generations have really, really good BS detectors. So on its face, feminism sounds great, right? Equality for all and girls supporting girls. That sounds so beautiful. But the second you kind of test that out, you very quickly find that it has just become a total facade. If I'm putting on makeup for my husband to come home from work, or if I'm cooking for him, they get upset. They don't like that. Like whoever the head of PR is for feminism needs to be fired. They are doing a horrible job because almost all of their representatives who are outspoken, they just seem so miserable, so hateful, so bitter. It doesn't look fun at all. Nothing about that sounds appealing.
I only saw one of those comments, but it was just like, one of them was like, oh, we're laughing at you. We never thought you were going to contribute anything to society. And it's just like, oh, gross. Absolutely gross.
I think that's why we're starting to see the like trad wife stuff on TikTok, is because people are so...
I just had a revelation. Thinking whether to share it or not. I have a theory. So a lot of these women who are like feminists are almost always really ugly or really fat. And like a lot of these like trad wives, like this lady here, are really pretty, right? Okay, you can get pissed off in the comments and say, that face full of makeup, Botox, whatever. I don't care. Like they are typically much prettier than feminists. And feminists are actually the ones, it's funny because like more of these like feminists, I'm talking like the angry liberal feminists who comment stuff like that on the like the trad people's photos, typically are like no makeup people, no work done. And a lot of these like trad feminist conservative women do actually wear a lot of makeup and have a lot of Botox, right? So that's besides the point. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that, remember when you were in school and like the really pretty girls would usually like bully the ugly girls? I have a theory that feminism is just like revenge. It's the ugly girls grouping together and saying, now we're gonna bully the pretty girls. It's like a revenge plan, you know? Oh, they made us feel bad in school, but hey, look at us. We're smart now. We're working with the men. Just none of the men want to marry us because we're still not pretty. I don't know. I feel like I need, you know, the small percentage of females who watch my show, you know, girls, what do you think? I think that's a pretty good theory. I really do. Because I was one of the ugly girls in school. I remember, you know, being like, you know, it was when I leave school, you know, I'm gonna hurt these bitches. Like this, that, and the other. But then it's like, you grow up or you glow up and you just think, you know, you get dealt a certain amount of cards and you do with them what you will. But that's my theory. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I think, you know, because I was looking at those comments and I was like, oh, there's something more to that. There's something really bitter. And like almost all negative female behavior, like from one female to another, is all to do with sexual marketplace competition. Almost always. Like go listen to any psychologist on like the female psyche. It's all to do with competition. Like if you're the prettiest girl in the room, any girls who are watching this who are like super pretty, like you will know what I'm talking about. You probably don't have a lot of friends. You probably struggle to keep a lot of friends because if you're a really pretty girl, other girls don't want to be your friend because we look like shit in comparison to you. You'll always notice that like, unless it's like these super fake looking women, typically friendship groups, like it's usually quite easy to identify like who is the best looking, this, that, and the other. Because I feel like women get along better when they are around people that elevate their status. So think about it like this. If you're a good looking girl and you're around other good looking girls, that elevates your status. If you're like a not very good looking girl, but you're friends with a good looking girl, that automatically elevates your status because you're friends with her. And it elevates her status as well because she looks even better around you. No one's willing to talk about this. No women are willing to talk about this because women just hate to acknowledge this stuff. And I think I get it because when I was a bit younger, like I used to find it quite uncomfortable. But genuinely, guys, like feminism and all this, I just have this, like, I don't know if I'm just getting blackpilled at this point, but I really don't think it's that complicated. I really don't think it's that complicated. I just think it's simply girls being girls, and girls struggle to get along with each other. So we're all just looking for a reason to one-up each other. Either you're pretty, you find a husband, great, or you're not, so you try and cope by saying, oh, but I make my own money. It's like, just be happy with the cards that you know, God's dealt you.
So sick of the other side. Like, so done with the angry.
Look at this. Worst bullies I've ever encountered in my 41 years of life are other women because I chose to be a trad wife. Somehow that offends them, even though I don't even know them. Yeah, see, it's just women being women.
Man-hating, like, putting women down. Ugh,
they don't, do you know what? It's like they want to hate men, but the reason they hate men is because men don't pick them.
Boring, it's old, we're done with it. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like other women on social media, you can call everybody names and be upset, but just don't pretend that you support other women because you don't. And
absolutely, I like this lady.
A lot of people are seeing right through it. Stuff the US economy and how it's actually now come back to bite modern women in the butt. Let's rewind. The modern feminist movement kicked off in the 1960s. The goal was fair wages, equal opportunities, and legal protection. Great, right? They told us that the first wave gave us the right to vote, and the second wave brought us into the workforce. Here's where it gets a little bit sticky. During the second wave, the message shifted. It wasn't just, you can work outside the home. It became, you should. Or you must if you want to be respected. Doing nothing but staying home and cooking and cleaning and raising children, that was suddenly less than. So women flooded the workforce around this time. They were told they would get more financial freedom, more independence, and of course, more respect. But when millions of women started working full-time, it didn't just change individual families, it changed the entire economy. Suddenly, two incomes weren't just nice, they were expected. And that's where we get into the two-income trap. This is a book written by Elizabeth Warren, who is not exactly a conservative voice, but she actually articulates this situation beautifully in her book, The Two-Income Trap. She argues that when both parents started working, the cost of living adjusted. Homes in good school districts, prices went up. Childcare, through the roof. Everything from health insurance to groceries inflated to match dual income spending power. So now we've created this world where it takes two full-time incomes to just be able to afford the same lifestyle one income covered in 1960. Feminism told women and even sold them the idea that they were breaking free. But for a lot of women, especially moms, it feels more like a trap. Because now the choice to stay home with your kids isn't even on the table for many families. So many women would love to be able to be homemakers and clean the house and cook and take care of their kids, and they can't. Because what used to be a respected and even honored role of homemaker, caregiver, mother got dismissed. Feminism lied to us and told us that success only looked like climbing the corporate ladder and competing with men. But we traded in something priceless: time with our children, peace in our own homes, and even financial flexibility. So while women were told you should do it all, what we ended up with is exhaustion, rising debt, and a system that only works if you're always working outside your house. The very movement that claimed to be liberating women made it nearly impossible to live on one income. And I'm sorry, but that is not empowering. Turns out that there's a real price to pay when a society stops valuing motherhood. When caregiving is treated as invisible labor and homemakers are seen as less than, everybody actually loses, especially women. Not just emotionally or in the family structure, we could talk about that forever, but economically as well. So no, I'm sorry, feminism didn't save women. It told us we need to do it all, and now our generation is paying the price for it.
Yep, she's not wrong. I think it's really good that so many women are waking up. I really enjoy the fact that these, particularly the angry ones, it's the angry, blue-haired liberal feminists. I really enjoy the fact that the light is being shone on them, because they really do get away with some disgusting behavior. And that's why I say I feel like it's repressed, like, bullied kids who are now older and are now trying to, like, bully the ones who bullied them. Not even the ones who bullied them, but like, oh, you look normal, you don't have blue hair, you don't have a flipping septum ring, like, you look like the one who I was jealous of in school and who bullied me, so now I'm gonna bully you. That's the vibe I get from these people, but I could be wrong. That's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up on your way out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to keep up to date with all of my content. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by clicking the links below at buymeacoffee.com or via my PayPal link. And on that note, thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you very soon in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.